Most brands have already tried Google Shopping for cold traffic. It picks up a few buyers who already know them, then it flatlines. So they write it off and say Google just retargets. And usually they're right. Google does just retarget, but it's not Google's fault. It actually comes down to one line of text that you set once and then forget. Get it wrong, and shopping will only go out and serve to people who already know you. Get it right, and these same campaigns with the same budget start to pull in customers who've never heard of you. Most brands set it up on day one and never touch it again, but today I'm going to show you how to get product titles that actually attract and convert cold traffic. So let's jump in. So an important distinction to understand is that with Google Shopping as opposed to Google Search, you don't pick keywords, but your product title actually does it for you. So there's no keyword targeting like there would be in search campaigns. Instead, Google is reading your product title. So if your product title doesn't match how people search, you never enter the auction for cold traffic. So your product title then has two functions. Function number one is to do with indexing, what I just spoke about Google understanding what it is that your product actually is, so that it can put it in front of the right search queries and ultimately the right customers. Function number two is that it acts as a click magnet. So the best thing you can do is mirror the search itself, because that helps with priming in the brain, and that helps for customers to recognize, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I want to click on this product. And the way I think about it is your product title should almost be like your keyword list. So think about it how you would target your keywords in search, except obviously shopping doesn't hand you that control directly. So the title is actually how you go about taking it. So one title can contain many different index terms. Take this title as an example. So magnesium glycinate for sleep support, capsules, 400 milligrams, vegan, 90 servings. So they can begin to serve for queries, obviously like magnesium glycinate, magnesium for sleep, vegan magnesium capsules, magnesium capsules full stop, and magnesium glycinate, high dose magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams. And an important distinction to make is that your front words, the words higher up in the product title itself, carry the most weight. So the order itself isn't cosmetic. It's actually really important to write your product titles in such a way as people search. Really important not to use your product title in the same way that you use your product naming internally in the business. If someone is searching for magnesium for sleep and your product title leads with magnesium for sleep and then it has glycinate 400 milligrams, vegan 90 servings, they're much more likely to click, because the title that mirrors the search confirms to the user that your product is exactly what they're looking for. And they're going to be much more interested in clicking that product before they've even looked at price, photo, reviews, every other attribute inside in your Google Shopping title. So better CTR doesn't just mean more clicks. It actually creates this positive compounding effect, whereby Google receives the signal that your product has a higher CTR than those of competitors in the same auction. So your listing is continuously earning the click. And that reward that you get from Google is both more impression share, more volume, and generally speaking, a lower cost of click. Google wants high quality ads that have high relevance, high click-through rate, and it's going to reward those advertisers that can achieve and demonstrate such ads with lower CPCs. Now, of course, you can't make a claim in your shopping ad that is going to really boost your CTR and have a massive drop off then once people get to landing page, and expect Google to index or understand that ad itself to be a high quality ad. Your CTR, or your expected CTR, is one of a number of signals that Google uses to judge the quality of your ad and the ad journey for the customer. So where does it go wrong? Well, what most brands do, and they don't actually realize it, is that they are currently running their Shopify PDP title. So whatever you named your product for your website, you have connected your Shopify feed to Google Merchant Center, which is subsequently connected to Google Ads. And your title that your product page reveals or shows, the internal title of your product, matches that of the product title that now Google is using to index and understand more about your product. So it is essentially a default feed, untouched, and as I said already, most brands are never actually editing it. So the mistake then that this leads to for most brands is that you start with the brand name. So I created a fake brand name here, Aurelia. And Aurelia has Dream Blend capsules. So we're going to assume that Dream Blend is something to do with sleep. Maybe it is a magnesium capsule. Dream Blend Nobody's really searching for that. Okay, people want to sleep better and they would love supplements to help them do that. So maybe a problem aware, solution unaware traffic may be searching for supplements to help me sleep, but they're not going to be specifically searching for Dream Blend. And they're certainly not going to be searching for Aurelia unless they've seen the brand elsewhere, be it on Meta, on Organic, on TikTok Shop, something like that. But this then becomes branded traffic. So we don't really want to be serving that. But most brands are leading with those front words that I mentioned already hold the greatest weight in relation to Google's indexing, and stuffing their brand name and then often their internal product name into those first key terms. And what ends up happening then is you're actually saying the brand name twice, because in your Google Shopping ads, you will also have the brand name displayed already as its own attribute. So stuffing it into your product title twice for cold traffic that knows nothing about you and simply doesn't care about your brand is going to instinctively be a waste of time and effort. So again, what I see quite often is most shopping ads are going to land somewhere in 30 to 70 product. What most shopping ad product titles are going to land somewhere in the region of 30 to 70 characters, but Google gives you 150 characters. And our recommendation is you should always be using as many as possible, because every unused character is a potential query you're now not eligible for. So most titles running 4 to 6 words, whereas if you can buff that out and have more keywords without stuffing it and making it sound really silly as a product title, but if you can do it more naturally, you open up your pool of discovery traffic that you can now serve for. And as I said, what's really important, and don't fall into the trap of just keyword stuffing, make sure you write your titles the way people search. So category first, product itself or product category first. Slot 2, then differentiators and attributes. So what it is that, some specificities of your product that allow you to stand out from competitors, or again, help you capture more specific long tail keywords, which generally speaking, you'll see higher conversion rates on, because this traffic is generally quite qualified. And then only at the end, if you have space, doesn't really matter, but add your brand name. So once again, this is the typical default, but this would be an alternative. Magnesium glycinate capsules for sleep support, high absorption, 400 milligrams, vegan, gut-friendly, unflavored, 90 servings, Aurelia. Now it's eligible for searches that matter. Magnesium glycinate. So every term now opens a new door. So obviously magnesium glycinate, your product and your product category term, is going to open the door of all of those product category search queries, which the volume of which is going to be huge. Sleep support is next. Sleep supplement, magnesium for sleep, that's unlocked. Unflavored magnesium, tasteless capsules to help me sleep. Gut friendly, so I believe magnesium side effects, if you're taking a different type of magnesium, can be that very harsh on the gut. So gentle magnesium, easy on the stomach magnesium, vegan magnesium, obviously, 3 months supply of magnesium. So you can see each of these is an individual door now opened. Compare that with the old title, nothing is really opened, and they're not going to be capturing any discovery traffic. So if you have different products, test different variations. Don't just run the same product title for every single product, because what you want to do is cast a wide net and use this as some sort of a testing ground, I suppose. So you're not going to nail the product title for each term. You're not going to nail your product title for each individual product first on every single product. It won't happen. But what you will start to see is which product titles tend to deliver better quality traffic and then tend to convert. What you should do when you update your product titles is really spend a lot of time reviewing your search queries, so your search term report, and make sure that your titles are pulling in relevant traffic. If they're not, obviously add negative keywords. If the traffic is completely off, well, then you do need to review your product titles and say, okay, are we casting too wide a net? But for the most part, you just need to tidy it up with negative keywords so you can exclude the junk. And then, as I said, some products are going to win and some products won't. How do you judge what is a winner? Well, if products have very high CTR, well, then you know they're relevant to the traffic they're serving for. If they've got very high impression volume, so overall impressions, well, then you know that you're expanding your TAM, and more than likely you're expanding into cold audiences, which is great. And then, of course, you're also judging by your conversion rate. So your winners are those that are converting well, have a high CTR, pulling lots of impressions. Obviously, your underperformers are those that are not seeing a lot of impression volume, or they've really weak CTR. Then you need to rewrite those next. Then how do you go about rewriting them? Well, what you should do is mine the converting terms you've missed. So review your search term report, and don't just look for junk traffic. Look for traffic that is converting quite consistently. And sometimes, and quite often, more often than not actually, you'll find terms that you never even thought about adding to your product titles. And if they're consistently converting, well, then you want to target those terms directly. So you'll feed those now into your product titles that were previously underperforming, feed converting terms that you know are, your traffic is converting on, and actually go after that traffic more directly. And this is what most brands just don't have a system to do. And I understand it. It doesn't come instinctively to people, and you probably just don't have the time to do it. But if you can, and you can understand that your product title is your keywords when it comes to shopping, and shopping is going to be probably, for the vast majority watching this video, the most important channel for your business. You then need to lead with how people are actively searching in your category and not just leading with your brand name. Try to use up as many of the characters as possible. Of course, then testing variations across different products. Once you have a bank of search terms, you want to be checking the terms to exclude your junk traffic with negative keywords, and then obviously feed your converting terms back into your underperforming product titles. And that is how you can consistently and repeatedly improve performance of your shopping and expand into newer cold audiences, and obviously use Google to prospect that bit better. So that is my trick. It's no new budget. It's not a new platform, not even a new campaign. It is just one single line of text, but written how people actually use the platform. Now, most brands will continue to ignore this. They will blame the channel and say that Google doesn't prospect for their business. But if you can be one of the few that will do the opposite, you will actually see how the opposite applies to Google and how Google can actually prospect really efficiently. So go ahead, go rewrite your product titles today. But if you'd rather we do it for you, alongside building Google into a reliable acquisition channel across all of its networks, be it search, shopping, performance max, demand gen, and YouTube, so that the channel can be effective in bringing you net new customers and not just retargeting existing ones, well, then it sounds like a call with me would be a reasonable next step. A quick note: if your brand is doing north of 100K per month, we do offer free strategy calls where we can map out how and where Google can fit into your acquisition system for your brand. And the link to book that call is in the description below. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you at the next one.